All right. All right. Greetings. Y'all come on in. We're getting ready for our little show tonight. It's not gonna be long. Doing a few little preliminary things as we come on in. Oh, let me see. Fatima has texted me. Okay, praise ye the Lord. Oh, there you go. I gotta do one of these videos. I gotta do one of these little I gotta do one of these little videos. Greetings to you all. Thank y'all for coming in. The little guy, he does that what do you call it? The slide and things. But see, the Pace sisters did that dance first. The anointed Pace sisters, they did that dance first with those animal print dresses, those big girl dresses on back in the day. I think I'm gonna do one for team. I think I'm gonna do the little peace slide. But I can't, I can't make my body. I've been Pentecostal all my life, but I can't dance. Can y'all shout? I can't shout. I can't shout. Greetings. What's up, everyone? Greetings. Let me get some top hats and some bow ties. Y'all know I don't really like to start until I at least have 100 individuals in my audience. We are, the Bible says, fret not thyself over small beginnings. Amen. We thank God for our small beginnings. But, um, even all mega churches started with what you call it, with a little church. Somebody said they've been calling me. Let me see, who has that been calling me? Who y'all been calling me? Greetings, how are you? Hey, how are I wonder if you was calling the old number. Where you call? I know that's Tia. What's going on? Oh, you got some Tia. Got some tea. Tia got some tea. What's going on? All right, you all come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna call you as soon as. Do you need? Can you give it to me publicly or privately? Do we need to do a private a private consultation? Okay. So I'm gonna call you. Girl. I got to call you after the show. See, oh Lord, I wish I had seen the thing. Make sure you inbox me and make sure that I have the correct stuff. No, what? Oh, you got she said no. She got to do it in private. We got to do it in private. We got to have a private consultation. Yeah. Oh, all right. You all keep coming in. Keep on coming in. Let me know where you're tuning in from, so that we can make sure that I give you a proper greeting. Thank you to La Princia, Catherine, Marquisho, in Nicole, my girl Fatima. I thought you was okay. I ain't gonna even start. Preston's World, thank you. I don't always get to join, but I am glad. I am so glad that you are here with me on tonight too. All right, over here on Instagram, we got New Jersey. We have Pensacola, Florida. Oh, Mother Mona Simmons is from Pensacola. All right, and we have posted over on Instagram our ways to give. I need you all to give. I need you. Goddess Fatima is going to help Preston's world. Lady Fatima, we have a giver that is on the line. Okay, now there we go with. Maybe I should take. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to take what you call off of my Wi-Fi and oh, okay, that's right, she's picking up. Okay, so you're not able to. Okay, because I thought I wasn't expecting you to be here at all, my darling. So I understand. Okay, the ways to. Oh, I forgot to put my banners up. The Cash App is right there, where you see my name. That is my Cash App for the person, Preston. That you see it right here. Do you see it, Preston? Child, we need the folks to see how to give. All right, I need y'all to come on. Oh, okay. Yes, obnoxious media. Obnoxious media. Yes, sir, Preston. That is me. Absolutely. All right. So we got a number of things that we're going to talk about tonight. How many of you that can show me, make sure that you send me some top hats and bow ties. Those of you, how many of you were on last night? How many of you got the chance to catch our broadcast on last night, especially a number of you that are members of the Church of God in Christ? Excuse me, that was on last evening. All right. Well, we have Preston. Preston has led off our offering tonight with $25. Amen. And we bandoroko shalalala bande. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm gonna just go on and testify a little bit here. I was not feeling the best in my body on today. I was not. I did not feel like myself, and so I make it. That we just don't know. I was on my face because I was not feeling well, and so I was stricken with some pain, and I have all of that gastrointestinal, some of those gastrointestinal issues as are related to weight loss surgery that still try to creep up and bind me up. But the enemy is yet alive. Come on, here, his grace is yet sufficient. Come on. Sometimes you go. They said that Jesus laid hands and they were healed as they went. Some of us might be miraculously and automatically just right then, instantaneously, and then some of us are going to be healed as we yet go. Come on, as you yet press, you'll be healed. Come on here, as you put down and die to your flesh. Come on here. That's why it's okay. You can't kill me because I'm already dead. You can't do it. All right. Hey, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is that Michael? Michael, I'm blonde. I'm blonde. You know what? It's so funny that he is on. Michael always wanted me. He wanted me to like Michael. What did you want me to do? Like some purple hair at one time, or something different with some colors. How are you? I am just honored that you stopped by for a moment. It's so good to see you. Thank you, as the old saints would say. Thank you for thinking it not robbery to stop by. To stop by my live on tonight. I don't know if he saw that. Sometimes when you going. All right, y'all. So anyway, just keep on. Y'all keep coming. And why y'all got why y'all gotta tell all my business? Right? Why y'all gotta tell all my business? She's gonna talk about lovely lashes. You ain't. My daddy said you tell some in your testimony and then you keep some. You can't tell all the secrets. Girl, be quiet. Hush your mouth. Right, anyway. All right, thank y'all for coming in. But we led off tonight with $25. We thank God for Preston. Those of you that will follow suit, amen. Those of you that will follow suit with Preston, and I thank you. I was just playing. I was just playing. Thank you. Travis, do not egg me. Do not egg me. Do y'all know that was something about Catherine Kuhlman? That Catherine Kuhlman at some of the height of her ministry, I can't remember what illness she suffered from, but she would be so sick that sometimes they would wheel her in, not in a wheelchair, but Catherine Kuhlman would literally be on a gurney, on a hospital gurney. She was that sick and then when it was time for her to flow and go into the service, then she would go, she would step in the anointing, and it was like it was like nothing was wrong with her. And then when the anointing lived, she had to stretch back out, and they would take her, take her on home or to wherever. All right, we got 58 still lingering. We need every one of you. We need every one of you to like and share. Excuse me. Like and share. That's that good old wild cherry Pepsi. Make sure that you like and share. My live. Tell Lottie, Dottie, and everyone about me and that I am on. He said, I wish I had that much dedication to church. He said he's a proud man. Well, you get up out of that bed. Get up out of that bed and go sometimes. At least sometimes. Thank you. Andrea said, cool shirt. This is, I think I had this shirt back. No, I'm sorry. I had something similar to this, but I had a Fat Boy shirt that was similar to this, because this shirt is too fitted. Back when I was in high school and college, I wouldn't have been able to wear this. But I had something like this. But this is old. This is old. But anyway, okay, we are up to 63. Keep liking and sharing. Our ways to give are up. You can give via Cash App. You can give via Zelle. We have PayPal, and we have Vimeo. So all of those are ways that you can give and show your love and support for Sir William and Obnoxious Media. All right, those are the ways. We definitely need your help and support. Stellars is coming up. Nashville is coming up, and so that is going to be and expense. And so we have just different things that we want to do and that we want to cover, and that we want to be a part of and bring to you the exclusive. So we need your help to be able to do that. And also, your good old bruh is in school. School is starting back, and so all of uh, sometimes I hate to even think about it, because each day is the great countdown. But I am yet confident um, that my election is sure, and that I will, you know, we were talking today. There's no plan B. All right. There's no plan B. There's no backup plan. There's no other option. There is no other option. This is it. God got to do it. If he don't do it, it's not going to be done. Okay. LaPrecia says Benny Hinn was who put me onto uh, Pastor Kaufman. Okay. All right. I know I am not the only one in here who can put something in the plate. Get the given. Yes, Preston, thank you for that. That is so kind for you to say. That is so kind for you to say. And we're going to, we're just going to be prayerful that that others will follow your wonderful lead. All right, there's a number of things that we want to talk about on tonight. How many of you, before we get into our main topics for tonight, how many of you were with us on last night? Is there anyone in here that was with us on last night? Anyone that was here that was on last night's show, that got a chance to view on last night, or maybe you didn't get a chance to view last night while we were live, but maybe you got a chance to watch the replay. Is there anyone that got a chance? Well, I am appreciative. I'm appreciative that I followed my my mind and went forward and covered the topic. I got a number of calls today and people that reached out to me. Some was even asking me, are you a practicing attorney now? And I was telling them no. I said, but and not many days hence. Come on here. And not many days hence. So but there was a number of people that were saying that they were really helped on last night. They were really helped. They were really enlightened. They were really encouraged. Thank you. Peace for BJ said that they watched on last night. Thank you for being with me on last night. All right, we looking for a few others. All right, we up to 72. We are climbing. Let's get some more of you in. Make sure that you are posting me on all of your social medias. Let the folks know Sir William is live, and you may you definitely want to come over and enjoy and hang out with us. We're not going to be long tonight. I told y'all I don't want to say a rough day, but just one of those days where you're not all the way 100%, and you push through. And so today I was in the press, and I want to give me a little rest on this evening. So y'all know that I am a sports fan, and football season is here. Okay, football season is here, and Deion Sanders' son has suffered an injury. You know that he's with the Cleveland Browns, and he suffered an oblique muscle strain during practice. On today, the team has announced that he will not be playing on this Saturday's preseason game against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was set to play at least one quarter against the Eagles starting defense on Saturday. However, he is fighting for a spot on the team. He is currently the number 4 quarterback behind veteran starter Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel. And so he needed that game so he could still secure his spot. And he's unfortunately then got hurt. We don't need him to be getting hurt too much because look, you won't have a spot to secure if you too hurt. So the Browns announced that he will not practice on Thursday and he will not play on Saturday. The injury comes at a bad time. He impressed some of the fans by competing 14 to 23 passes. 14 to 23 passes and 138 yards and two touchdowns against the Carolina Panthers in the Browns' first preseason game. But his touchdowns came against the Carolina bench players and rookies and not actually their starting lineup. So y'all, those of you that are my sports fans and sports fanatics like myself, you know that we want to see what he's going to be able to do and if he's going to be able to cut the mustard against starter players. So that's going to make a difference, and especially with him trying to secure his spot on the team. So probably a lot. And then also, I'm sure that he loves and is concerned and greatly concerned about his father as well. So I'm sure a lot of that is weighing heavy on him. Some of you all criticized me. I guess I did not. What's the girl's name? D. She was on a show that was a little bit before my time. I think she was on the show with the lady, the heavyset lady that played the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wiz, right? The real big heavy woman, kind of looked like Aunt Jemima. I was like, and that was something because that lady was on TV way back in the day, and y'all remember the big woman that looked like Mahalia Jackson. She was on that show, and the girl was, I think, a veterinarian or something like that. And anyway, she recently passed away due to cancer. So she is definitely, her and her family is in our thoughts and prayers. And some of you all were a little bit upset that I did not, that I did, I guess I overlooked her passing. Okay, yeah, she played in What's Happening. All right, so y'all telling y'all age. Praise God. You telling your age. See, yeah. Somebody said the woman was named Mabel King. Ooh, if that ain't a good old plantation name. Mabel. Oh, Lord. Anyway, Mabel know that he was able. Anyway, she wore that big bouffant wig. And then I think she looked so big because the boy, her son, was like, he looked like JJ or something like that. Or whatever. All right. Okay. So Sha'Cari Richardson. Y'all, they are not, this girl cannot y'all know the ghetto track star. Like, she cannot get a break. Like, she cannot. You know what I mean? It was. It's just like, eh, you know, they go after her sort of like how they go after Leandria. Like, she just cannot get a break. She just cannot. So anyway, more details have come out, and the video or the body cam has come out of her berating her boyfriend when she was recently arrested in the airport because she assaulted him, and she called her boyfriend Christian Coleman a coward when he got the police involved in their airport altercation. Okay, now the police body cam video shows Richardson berating Coleman and calling him a coward after she attacked him at the airport in Washington State back on July the 27th. The Olympic gold medalist, is 25, is seen on surveillance video shoving Coleman multiple times during their dispute. At one point, she grabbed his backpack strap and slammed him into an airport pillar. The timid Coleman walked over to a TSA agent to beg for help. Well, I don't want to say he had to walk over and beg for help, but he walked over and he asked for help. Some people that was in the airport, quite naturally, they recorded her. You are under surveillance. You need to live and act and conduct yourself like you're under surveillance. Okay. You need to know and understand that you are being watched. You are on camera. All right. Greetings, Peter. Hey, TL is here. Barbara Martin is in. And so you just, the person put on Twitter, or either was Twitter or Instagram, the incident, the fact that she can do this in public is crazy. Can't only imagine what she does, or what goes on with her behind closed doors. The TSA agents called police, who was swamped the concourse. One officer spoke with Richardson to get her side of the story. She denied putting her hands on Coleman. "I am being honest," she said, while turning to yell at him. "I don't want anything to do with him. I just want to get my stuff out of his bag," she told the officer. "You can ask him whatever you need to ask him," she said. "But yeah, you're a coward," she said to Coleman. This is the position that Christian Coleman put me into because he's a coward," she said. "I will never F with you again," she told him. After speaking with the TSA agents, police determined that Richardson was the aggressor and placed her in handcuffs. "Just the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in the situation, I'm going to comply," she said. Richardson spent the next 18 hours in jail before being released on bond. Coleman defended his girlfriend in an interview days later. He said Richardson had a lot of pent-up emotions trapped inside of her. Richardson apologized for her behavior in a video message to her Instagram story on Monday. The track star said that she never runs away from her demons and she is seeking counseling. Whew. So, I'm trying to figure out why. I just think that that's an old kind of played out level of behavior. You know, like women, the Bible says that a woman is the weaker vessel. Women, why would you berate and put a man in the position and taunt him and then see the thing about it is, I mean, once you're embarrassed like that, there's really nothing that Christian could have done. Yeah, you know that and no matter how you look at it, either way you look at it, he was on a losing end, because had he gone off and knocked the hell out of her, then everybody would have been saying, "Oh, it's so terrible that he jumped on her and he whipped her behind in that airport." You know, now they saying, "Oh," and she's saying, "Oh, you're a coward," and what? Why are you even taunting this man like this? Why are you even so out of control where you don't know how to behave? And we were just pulling for you because we know you like to smoke weed, and you messed up the last time and you couldn't run and be in the Olympics. So why don't you, I mean, girl, get this ghetto out of you, get some act right, and go out here and get this money. And then behind closed doors, you can fight, you can smoke weed, you can do whatever you want to do. But when you get out in front of the people, go on and put your face on, go on and play the game, go on and play the part, and be this um role model, or whatever it is that you're trying to be, or you want to be a ghetto gangster girl rapper. What is it with you? You know, I want to root for you, but gosh, give me something to work with. Does anyone else feel that way? All right, TL says she's just wild and disrespectful. Any woman who jumps on her man uh, um, and, is a street girl. Mm, mm. She hood. What do you say? Wait a minute. Preston said he used to smoke weed where? Preston, you wasn't smoking weed in the parking lot before you went in church, did you? Loose here. Oh, God. Not smoking weed in the parking lot. Mm-mm-mm. You had to get high to go to the church house. In house, out house, schoolhouse. What did they say? Highway 19. Yeah, yeah, they had to get drunk to go. Had to get drunk. He said, "Wait a minute." He said, "My ex-girlfriend beat me up in the church parking lot. She was 100% a hood." Did she whip you? Did she whip you in the parking lot? I can't even take it. I cannot. Listen, that is too much. She whipped y'all. Preston got a ass whipping in the parking lot. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Well, at least y'all was at the parking lot of the church, and you was able to go in and make her repent and get some act right. You was able to go in and pray. Oh no, Preston, you weren't supposed to be taking no whippings out in public now. You know, now maybe at home behind closed doors where nobody would see. Maybe you could get a little spanking or something. Yeah, you weren't supposed to be getting no whipping outside. Come on here, we gonna act like we got some sense when we go outside. I don't hear nobody. All right, we gonna join in. We've already been 30 minutes and we only got $25. I need y'all to help me. Come on here. I need y'all to reach down and dig down deep. Come on. Come on. What is going on? Come on. Thank you. What is that? Ramon Willis. I just pulled out. Sorry, pulled up. Okay, sorry that you late. That's all right. We're just glad to have you. Just go on and make up for it and drop something in the plate. Come on. My usher Fatima is here to serve you. We passing the basket. She has achieved some level of track stardom. I think that she needs to take on counseling and do the work. She has a lot of years ahead of her still in the track and field world. Still want her to win. Yeah, I had taken a different sort of like a different position. Let me say it to you like this. This is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. Um, and they thank you for buying the badges over on Instagram. Thank you. I look at it in this manner. And I think the majority of us here are Black and brown people. We have enough of obstacles. We have enough outside forces. Let's just call it out. Can we call it out? We have enough outside forces fighting against us. We have the deck that is stacked against us and not wanting us to succeed, wanting, and some are literally waiting for the opportunity for us to fail so they can say, oh, look, didn't I tell you? Didn't I mention, didn't I say that they're going to mess up? Didn't I tell you that they were going to mess up? So some are looking for that, and I tend to have a hard time when we give them the opportunity, excuse me, when we give them the opportunity to then say, oh, look, oh, they don't know how to act. Oh, they're so ghetto. Uh-uh. We already got the deck stacked. So when we're out, let's put our best foot forward. How about that? Let's not be in a situation be beating up our boyfriend in the airport. And it had to be bad, because if he felt so entrapped that he needed to get the TSAs involved to calm her ratchet tail down, see, that's a problem. That's a problem. See, I got to. We are no longer. We're no longer boyfriend and girlfriend. No, 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 no. You whipping on me and acting up and acting a fool and acting real alley, and we in this airport and people can see us, and they're taking pictures and doing stuff on the camera with us. No, 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 no. We need to create some distance in this relationship, if if that is in fact what we're having. I can't take no public ass whipping. Now maybe I might let you whip me, at home. I may. Mm-mm. But I think if you got to get to the point where you can't control yourself, to the point where you are uh getting physical with your other half, then that's times to that's that's time to seriously evaluate. Am I talking right? That's time to seriously evaluate. Are we meant to be together? So I'm just saying, All right, what do y'all think about? We have Farmer. While we are continuing on sports topics, we have the former NBA Sebastian Telfair that is pleading with Trump for a pardon. Sebastian has turned himself in to the Federal Bureau of Prisons to begin serving his 6-month sentence for violating the terms of his probation. He is now 40 years old, and he's among nearly 24 of former NBA players that have been indicted on a conspiracy to commit health care fraud and wire fraud charges back in 2021. He was sentenced to community service, but he didn't bother to ever show up, which he violated his probation. The former NBA guard began serving his time at the Fort Dixon FCI in New Jersey. All right. The former NBA stars were indicted alongside with Telfair for they include Monica's ex-husband Shannon Brown, Glenn Big Baby Davis, Darius Miles. Federal prosecutors say that the retired NBA stars filed fraudulent insurance claims for reimbursement of up to $4 million. Of that amount, the former players received $2.5 million. On Monday, he spoke with some reporters. When he turned himself in, he pleaded with President Donald Trump for a pardon, to pardon him because he is too valuable to sit in prison. I did not do good. It did not do good for anybody to be sitting in jail. He said he is a retired NBA player in the 2017 after playing 13 seasons. What y'all think? I mean, if I know we asking for a pardon for somebody that I work with here in Atlanta. You know, let's ask for the pardon. We are not ashamed. We are not ashamed. Let's gonna get this pardon. Why we want to be? Who want to be in jail? Who want to be in? Who want to be in jail? I just, uh, okay. They said that Preston says that he agrees with everything that Kevin Samuels said or did, but he stated that we as Black people must go above and beyond with how we present ourselves. I am inclined to agree with him. Okay. Um, why we always got to do more? And why do y'all buy into that mentality? I live my life like I'm a white boy. Like I do not I do not walk in any kind of fear, trepidation. I stop being stopped out. Why are you stopping me? You know, I think Preston, are you dressed? Do you want to come up? I want to argue with you a little bit about that. Because I am sick of us feeling that we have to do over and beyond to just get the basics that they get. All right. Thank you. Over on Instagram, we have Poetic says that African Americans are a threat to the entire world. I'm just okay. Let's see. Do you have body? If you have body, we don't mind you not having a shirt on. Oh, we don't mind. Oh, we want to see. Do you have chest? Now, if you got man titties, then we don't want to see. But if you got chest, if you got a body, we want to see your body. We want to see. Y'all want to see Preston, ladies? Y'all want to see what he working with? Hit that link. Let's. Hit that link. And not many days hence, I would do a show with no shirt on. Okay, man. Wait a minute, I might pull it off tonight. I might give me some music. I might pull it off tonight. I may have to pull it off in a minute because y'all ain't giving no money. I might have to go on and pull it and take something off, but take something down. Listen. Ooh, somebody said that's not holy. Mm-hmm. Okay, it depends on what hole. Oh, we wait no precedent to him. Like issues or discussions like this is problematic for me because I think so many times we are forced to believe and put in this position that we have to do extra, that we have to go over and beyond and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, especially it's a lot of pressure on Black males. And I don't think it's fair. It's not fair, it's not right. And white boys, they cut up, they act up all of the time. Okay, let's see. It's here. Hey,
Sir William. Good to meet you.
how are you?
Not too bad, dude.
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining on tonight. So, let's discuss this theory.
Okay.
Why do we have to do more? And why do we buy into that mentality, especially for those of us that are African American males? Why do we have to do more and go beyond and do extra to get what just the basic that they're getting?
Now, you say the basic. You're referring to respect then?
I'm sorry?
Now, when you say have to do more just to get the basic, are you referring to
I'm referring to race. I'm trying to figure out why do we feel that. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to figure out why do we feel like we have to do that, and why do we buy into that mindset that we have to do to just do that, to just have the basic function of life. Maybe you could put it on top of the mop bucket and roll
it? So I grew up. My mother is a Black woman, and my father was white.
Okay.
So I grew up on two very opposite.
So you mulatto. See, I'm octagroom. I'm not
Yes.
octoroon or a quadroon.
I,
Why are you laughing? We still use terms like that. See, you are mulatto. I think I'm either I'm an octoroon because one of my grandparents was white.
yeah, so I got that too. I'm from Tennessee, and so my mother's family, the family's name is Curd, and Curd was an Irish man in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, that made babies with his slaves. And
With
so,
his slave.
and some of my cousins have the prettiest green eyes you'll ever see. Your eyes are blue, Sir William.
Yes. They do. They'll change to green when I'm mad.
Uh-huh. My cousins do that too. But she's
That's
got
when that
Native American.
dragon. That's when that when he goes. But no. But seriously, do you feel like that? And what is it, so is that a result of slavery that has put that mindset in us that we have to um feel or be made to feel like we have to do extra?
I don't necessarily think it's that as much as it is presentation. Like you know, when I got beat up in the church parking lot, or
Now, was that a black girl or was it a white girl?
she was black.
She whipped your ass, huh?
Yes.
What did you do?
She went through my phone.
And you was cheating.
I don't call it that because we wasn't really a thing at that point. She came up in church during choir practice and was like, "Come outside, I need to talk to you." And she asked me about somebody, and the next thing I know, my glasses went that way, and my phone went that way, and
Oh my God.
I was getting whooped.
Oh, you should have stopped her.
No. I couldn't.
No,
do
no,
that.
no. I mean, not like hit her, but I'm just saying, like, grab her, like bear hug her and say, "What are you doing?" I think that we have some things that, um, well, I'll just say it like this. Racism is forever embedded in the fabric of this country.
I don't disagree.
And it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an even playing field. But
Right.
I don't think that we as black males have to take on this additional burden or this additional responsibility that I have to do more and I have to overcompensate and just to prove you understand what I'm saying, like in some instances. Now I know that a lot of times that we can cut up. we can cut up, but white boys cut up too.
Yes, they do.
You know what I'm saying? White boys cut up too. So I think that it's certain things with just age and stage in life that's just a part of being young, being carefree, being wild. And to have that additional pressure applied, it's just not cool sometimes, I don't think.
I think when I heard it as a young man, I had the same. When I was younger, I'm almost 30 now. I had the same reaction of you do. Like what my white cousins don't have to put on a front. We call it code switching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the term. That's the term.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you immediately, it's instances and it's things that'll come up that immediately it goes into that. because your cousins don't get that nervous fear in them when that blue light hits them, and,
Right.
when they see it in the in the rearview mirror, and I fight not um to feel and live in that kind of manner. I really do. I really push to not let that be my testimony.
I can sympathize with what you're saying. Sort of. You know, I have obviously I'm of color, but a lot of people, find me racially ambiguous. My father's German, and so that's why I have, more of a like square facial structure
Okay.
instead of it like my mother's face is oval shaped.
Okay.
Um, and so, my features, especially when I'm shaven, I can come off white, and I do get treated differently than
Mm-hmm.
if I had my black cousins in the car. And
Mm.
um, but I've been on it two ways. I've been profiled before with, and at a time it was in public, and I was with my Mexican girlfriend, and we got profiled into a group of black kids that were being a little rowdy in the arcade, and we all got kicked out. And then I remember going into the stores with my cousins, my black cousins, and they would get followed around, and I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
there is a different treatment. But I think when I made my comment that Kevin's, I don't agree with everything Kevin Samuel said or did, but I think he when he was talking to black men, he tried to convey that being 40 and in Jordans and your pants sagging isn't cute. Now those are his words, not mine. Even though I don't know if I disagree or not. There's nothing uh, pleasing about being around an immature man, no matter what color he is. You know what I mean? And so when I'm in the workplace and there are men that look similar to me and are much older than me, and they're acting and dressing like kids half their age, it I don't want to say it kind of like, how should I put this? I should say that I would I just want better for us, and I want us to get better, and how we do that is we take it, and we take it with being prudent. We take it with our appearance, and we take it with our competency, and that's how I've approached my life. And
Yeah. I really hear you. And I just at times I think that it's an unfair additional burden, and that we take on this uh because we don't know how someone was raised. We don't know how they were
right,
socialized. We don't know
right,
how that when they see us what they are thinking. I am many times for many different reasons sized up, assessed, um, put in some type of bubble, some type of box, or some type of whatever that makes people comfortable to be able to deal or tolerate. I just think that a lot of times we have this additional um, burden, this additional level of responsibility, accountability, uh, requirement, um,
hmm,
expectation,
yes, sir.
that all of these things that are more than what others what others have to do, and that sometimes it is not it is not fair. And due to socioeconomic reasons and racism, she is obviously from a different background,
Right.
you know,
Sure.
than what he probably was socialized in. And but also I get the whole idea that she's a Black woman, she responded this way. He's your girlfriend was a Black girl, she
Mhm.
responded in that way, because they were the passion and the love that was there, and it was met with that anger, because of that anger was camouflaged, that the anger camouflaged the pain and the hurt.
Sure. Sure.
And
Sure.
women have a way of, in their mind, a guy can tell you, I don't want to be boyfriend, girlfriend. We can be friends. We can hang out. We can kick it, and we can be friends. She's hearing, you are my man, and I'm just going to wait and sit here and settle for just being your friend until you come into the realization, or until you just get drunk one night and have sex with me by default because you're available, or because I'm available. That's what she's hearing. That's what she's hearing. And then a lot of times when guys kind of put that out there, like you were saying, hey, I'm feeling like excuse me, that we're
Excuse me.
not exclusive. So why can't I do my thing? Why is it a big deal that it's other girls? But in her head, you were her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so it is something. But I just think about that. I know that I'm somewhat being devil's advocate, because I totally get it. And that it is different.
Well, my mother is I told you earlier, my mother is a Black woman, and
Right.
she never hesitated to use her hand. And I, I might say that it was a bit excessive, and she would disagree. But my aunts too. My aunt. I grew up apostolic Pentecostal,
Oh God.
off brand. It's like what you said. I don't agree no more, but I don't. I never agreed with it
You're not
really.
apostolic anymore?
No, sir. No, I left the apostolic church when I was 16, and you know, just kind of played at other churches. Got hired to play drums, and I still do that. But yeah, no, I grew up in it, and my aunts and my grandmother. I don't know what she saw in that mess, but I was raised apostolic Pentecostal, and in a Black family, and I'm aware of the culture and how things happen. Perhaps, I'm starting to believe that I worded that comment poorly. I think what I meant to do was, or what I meant to say was Black men, but and not should have maybe classified Black people all together. But
Oh
you know,
no, I think you said it correctly, because that's how you don't have to see here. This is a safe space, so you don't have to try to clarify. And I'm not one of those hosts, or I, we talk color.
yeah,
We talk color,
yeah,
and people don't like that.
right,
They don't like that. They don't like that idea, but that's a part of our culture. That is a part of our reality. And we can't, we don't want to, we want to put it in a nice bow and phrase it. Now, and I'm glad that you quoted Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, I think Kevin was an enigma for several reasons. I think that he was very, very clever to get his name out there as an influencer. And he said those edgy things, just sort of like how you had the young white boy that was just recently, not too long ago, on the Breakfast Club, and he had in the past said all of these horrible things about and used the N-word and all of this stuff, and he was on the Breakfast Club, and just hilarious was, they all went in on him, and he was trying to say that he was a different person now. So I think that it was partially, I'm saying that to say, I think partially some of that was what Kevin was doing. That he was saying a lot of shock factor stuff to raise a level of attention. But then also, the flip side of that, Kevin was a gay black man that was not ready to accept and walk in the reality of what he was. And so a lot of gay men have problems and are abusive and resentful, especially to black women, because they want to be embraced by them, but they are also fearful and intimidated of being their most authentic self in and around them. So you could tell that, after he died and the way in which he died, let's be clear, with a Hispanic trans that was running up in you and you doing dope, let's just call it out. You didn't like no woman. You wasn't interested in no woman. Cause you wanted to be one. So that's why he was able to say those hard-hitting, dogmatic things. And in the good old Pentecostal church, and surely your sins will find you out.
Can I go back to something you said earlier about the color thing?
Yeah.
Now you might disagree with me, and I might not be right because I'm sure my experience.
Preston, I don't want you. Just say it. We don't have to put the qualifier on it.
So I have seen colorism far more than I think like blatant racism. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah. So like with me being lighter.
Do you think you have seen the colorism within the black community and the black side of your family more so than you have seen racism in mainstream situations? Because see, looking at you, you could very easily pass.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, see, you're giving white boy right now.
That's what my little mama, we called her, but my great grandmother used to call me. She's from Winston-Salem. She was from Winston-Salem.
Oh, see, she good at it's a color. And
she was as crazy as, I mean, she would call my grandmother at like 3 a.m. and say, the FAGs next door are cooking crack in the kitchen. Right.
I love her.
And like she had no clue who they were. Nothing. But she would call anyway. I would go up to her as a little boy and be like, hey, hello, little mama. And she kind of look at me and go and look at my mom and then look at me and be like, I thought he was white.
I love it.
But I will say, so as it pertains to dating, it's not everybody, because not everybody's gonna think you're attractive or whatever. But when it comes to Black women, I have found, because of my skin color, that I am more apt to get attention that perhaps my darker complected cousins are not. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And it's even that
But
way.
they kind of flipped the script on us, because now everyone wants that chocolate. Like we were the in thing, or a light complected. I'm not quite as light as you, but light complected was that El DeBarge and that pretty
It's
boy.
way before my time, Sir William.
but no, but that was the end. That was the look. The Terrence
Sure.
Deshaun Howard. That
Sure.
that
Yeah.
was the look of what was attractive, and then you started seeing a trend late '90s and the 2000s, especially. Yeah, uh, what Best Man? What was the guy's name? Lance in the Best Man.
I know who you're talking about. I just
Yeah,
don't.
that look,
Yeah.
that Mandingo, that became the hot end thing, and that was that was what people wanted to go for, but it was nothing for my big mama to say, oh, if he's darker than a paper bag, or if she's darker than a paper bag, and your hair, you can't comb your hair with a rat tail comb. They can't come in my house. You know what I mean? It was just that, and she would say stuff like that and meant it, and it wasn't even no apology or whatever. And then, yeah, I mean, my big mama didn't talk to my mother for 8 years.
Yeah.
She didn't talk
My
to my mother for 8 years because my mother married a dark complected man that was a preacher that was uneducated.
my
And,
great grandmother was the same way. She told her daughters, don't bring no darkies in here. And she was
listen,
Black.
we have a problem with admitting that. We have a problem with, oh my God, oh, that's just, but that what I remember. I remember family reunions, and the light side was on one side. Am I telling the truth? I'm telling the truth. See, and I'm so grateful to God that is somebody on here that can say that this was for real.
Yeah. Oh
And,
yeah, for sure.
and it was like an invisible line, and the Likens collective family members sound this like, and then all of them was bourgeois, like, and then, oh, look at them over there.
The ones that went to college is over here.
Oh,
The ones
oh,
that
don't even get into that. Don't get into the W.E.B. Du Bois and the talented 10th. Let's not even go there. You know. And so we act like we don't want to say that. We act like,
yeah.
but that's a part of our culture. That's a part of who we are. That's the bitter truth. And I'm sure that you, like, and probably even more so than me, that sometimes it could get conflicting, because sometimes you did want to run, and it was always like the darker family, like, they could get dirty, we had always stay neat and clean and buttoned up, and they could play in mud, and
Yeah.
get dirty and whatever. And I remember that. I remember about, oh, don't be like that, running around like a little monkey. Don't do, no. And they would say stuff like that. And like my big mama hated watermelon. We couldn't eat watermelon.
Yeah.
We couldn't eat watermelon
Yeah.
because of those images and what it brought back for her.
Yeah, we couldn't have Kool-Aid.
Oh God.
We couldn't have Kool-Aid, and I never understood why. And like it's kind of funny because it was the darker cousin that always complained. But like but like my grandmother would not allow it. Just would not. We either had tea.
We cannot. We couldn't have watermelon. We couldn't eat meatloaf.
Yeah, we didn't do meat. We couldn't have chitlins. No chitlins. We
Oh
couldn't
no!
do that.
Oh, nothing too porky. Nothing.
No.
Nothing too oinky.
No.
No, like hog head cheese and stuff like that. Oh no, and like pig feet. No. No.
Do you know why I think they did that though?
I think that they hated the harsh realities of what they had come out of.
Yes.
They despised it. My grandmother, her whole, when she got out of New Orleans.
Oh God. I mean, no,
but that was the real. She was one of the last. I don't know if you read The Feast of All Saints by Anne Rice.
I have not. No.
Okay, it's an excellent book. It's sort of like, oh God, what was the movie? Megan Good played the older daughter in it, and Diane Carroll was a witch doctor in that movie. It was about the girls, and you remember the father had the two daughters, and I think Samuel Jackson was the dad, and he was molesting one of the girls.
Well, we couldn't watch things like that because things like that actually happened in our family.
It triggered them.
Yes,
it triggered them.
Yes.
Because my grandmother was one of the last. That whole panache.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole cotillion, and when the aunts or the grandmother or the mother would dress their 16-year-old daughters up, and they would put the white gowns on, and the white men would come in and pick what black girl that they wanted, and they would go with the grandmother, the mother, or the aunt, or whoever was raising that girl, and write up a contract. You're going to take care of her for the rest of her life. She's going to go to college. She's going to be guaranteed Eased by You. Thank you, Tamara. The movie Eased by You. My grandmother was one of the last ones, and she fought. She married a man she didn't even like, couldn't stand, to get out of New Orleans and get to California. She didn't want no parts. And I think that's why money drove her so. That everything was related, because that was the other part, that even if you was the descendant of the slaves, you had value if you were rich.
Yeah.
And every one of her husbands had more money than the one prior. And she was
your grandmother?
Oh yeah. She the big Catherine didn't play.
That was her name, Catherine?
Her name was Catherine, and you couldn't call her Kay, you couldn't call her Kathy, my name is Catherine. And she was a grande dame diva to the day that she took that final stroke that took her out.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
I thought I was going to lose my mind. But that whole black bourgeois Diane Carroll kind of that she embodied that.
Well, my grandmother,
she had a maid that lived with her, and her driver, Mr. Billy, that drove her around in her road. And I used to tell her, I was like, Big Mama, I think Mr. Billy, your boyfriend. She said, shut up, Willie, baby. Shut up. She was, and I mean, and she was like, her house was like the closest thing to Bobby Dearest. I mean, she was crazy. But those realities made those women.
Yeah.
They were great women, but they were. And don't get offended when I say this, but our grandmas were like a little bit crazy.
Oh God, more than a little bit.
You
More
know,
than a
like
little.
racism, they just like really just, they was just like a tangent because they would say shit like that and be serious, you know. So, oh, this is another one. You can't, don't bring no ready made. You can't have no ready made family.
No,
Oh
no,
no.
no. My grandmother is in her coffin right now doing double dutch at us just mentioning that.
Oh my god. Okay, my uncle Fred, he was going with a woman that had a baby. She said, Freddie, he has what? She has what? She has what? And he said, oh, well, she has a little. She has what? What do you
I okay, so can I ask you? Can I ask you if you had family like this? So my family moved from Winston Salem to Monroe, North Carolina, before my grandmother was, before the youngest was born, and she had a second brother. His name was Steve. They called him Stevie, and Uncle Steve was pretty high up in the local Freemason lodge,
Okay.
and and he carried around a briefcase with $35,000 in it at all times, two guns, had one gun on his ankle, and would have five girlfriends at once with a wife. And as soon as one of the girlfriends turned 35, he'd drop them.
Listen, that sounds you those men carried enough cash
Yeah.
where
Yep.
if they took a road trip and their car broke down, they had enough cash money to buy a new car, Johnny on the spot.
Yep.
Like racism had was so deeply embedded in them that it governed all kind of tiny things that they did. Like it was this whole idea of it was always going to be a safe
Yeah.
in the house. It was always going to be an X amount of cash in that safe in that house because you never knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
And they lived and they conducted themselves like that. I mean, pudding, meatloaf, all of those things, anything that was aligned or associated with mediocrity or poverty,
Yeah.
they absolutely despised it. They hated it. Anything that reminded them, anything that took them back to that old school, and they reared us like that. They
did. They did.
and they said that. And so now when you have people saying, oh, you shouldn't say that, that's a part of our experience. Are you crazy? That is a part of our history and who we are. And I say a lot of the stuff out loud that we secretly say, around the kitchen table, behind
Yeah.
closed doors. But we said that. And um I think we got to Winston because one of my grandfather, one that was a physician, it was still the South, and they had hard times being able to find places where they could practice and where they would be
Yeah.
able to be accepted. And so I think that's how a large in part how it landed there. And then we had some time in Hampton, but for that was how we kind of migrated back to or the dad side of the family migrated back to Winston. But she, for years, California, LA, and the Bay Area was just like, for them, a breath of fresh air. It was
Yeah.
what the Great Migration was for these slaves that went north, Chicago or New York or what have you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was,
Mhm.
and it was, but I think in a weird way, and I bet you to her own degree or level, she had accumulated some amount of wealth and success, right?
My grandmother,
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you that. So one of the first papers I had to write when I went back to school, I chose to write about um, how the demographics of this country spend their money. And well, let me put it to you like this: the white dollar is in circulation for a little bit more than 2 weeks. Obviously, most white people are well off.
Right.
The Asian dollar lasts about 2 weeks. The Hispanic dollar lasts 48 hours, and the black dollar lasts 12.
Hmm.
And my family, I remember growing up, my mother would be paid on Fridays, and we'd be broke Saturday morning. You know,
Wow.
I wish I could tell you that, but
See,
that
now
wasn't our
that
story.
the thing with my grandmother and her sisters, everything, and I think that that's part of the reason why I am so materialistic, because everything was, at the end of the day, centered around money and success. It was like, and it drove them to uh decisions. I mean, you can really, like, I can go back in my grandmother's life, and there's each house
Mm.
was another level of tax bracket. When she
Yeah,
lived on, when that first house on Edwards, then that next house in Piedmont, and then that mansion in the El Cerrito Hills, where one side was total glass, and you could see, she had a panoramic view of the Bay Area.
yeah,
You could see all three bridges. You can look out of her bedroom and see the Golden Gate. You could look from the living room and dining room area and see the Bay Bridge. And then you could go to the back part of the house and see the San Rafael. And that was her whole world of
yeah.
what she had accumulated.
Damn, she had that back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Catherine, I think they moved in there. Well, as a story, she bought her first Rolls Royce, and I think it was 83. And then every
Ooh-wee.
2 years it was a brand new one. And uh I mean, it was just like, it was crazy. And then they did business in such a different kind of way, because then she did income taxes, and
Oh,
they was like, oh,
okay.
your grandmother is a thief, she's like, she steals people's income tax returns, and she could do it in her head.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell her how much you made and who you is married and how many kids you have, and she could calculate your taxes, like, right then, right. It was like, it was crazy. And then she helped this white cat with this that did real estate, and she was like, you're not gonna pay me rent. I just want 20% of every deal that comes through your um your real estate office, because he had got his broker's license.
Yeah, that they
I mean, it was
closed
just
it.
like crazy, and they didn't even have contracts. It was like, oh, handshake and do this, and it was done. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, but in a weird kind of way, it's yet cool at the same time, because even and if you talk to white people, they have their isms and schisms and
Yeah.
their
Oh, for
things
sure.
too.
Sure. Yeah.
They, and we think it's a big deal because it seems like it's a big deal for us, but they have their stuff too. So
Oh, it's worse. If I could tell you the truth, it's a lot worse than what we go through.
I I can see that. I can see that. And I think that because they have had generational wealth, I can see that
Had. That's the thing right there. Had.
had okay.
Mhm.
But I can see where like they would be susceptible in some regard a little bit. See, like when you tied up and struggling all your life
Mhm.
to have a decent quality of life, you don't really have time to get distracted by some of the frailties of life.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because you got to, you're dealing with. I got to make it happen. I got to make it happen. I got to make it happen. Where when you have, then you have that ability sometimes to get taken off track.
Well, I would say that, and it might not be everybody, but what I have seen in my white family, like the betrayal among siblings is beyond treacherous. Like I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say who, but I'm talking about there was one member of my family that wanted a certain guy at the school. Well, the other sister took him from her. And when they were about to get married, the sister that originally wanted him was well, how should I say this? Because I don't want to get you flat. They were being intimate like days before the wedding. Like
And they went
that.
on through with the wedding, right?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
even after they found out.
And she probably knew it, but to save face and to keep up perception and image, went on through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Can I ask you something about Winston Salem? Because we might actually be kin.
we may be.
Maybe. So the way I understand it, my big daddy was the son of a freed slave. Like my big daddy's daddy was a 69-year-old man when he had my big daddy,
Okay.
and was on his third wife because the other two had died. The third wife was a Cherokee woman, and how I understand it is there were a league of white and Jewish men that wanted the land that the Cherokee were on in North Carolina, and they were, killing the men, killing off the Cherokee men secretly. Well, the women, couldn't marry white men, so they ended up with the freed slaves or the sons of the freed slaves. And you have blue eyes, so I'm asking, like,
And you know the Browns. I think I think in Winston it was like maybe I think 3 or 4 real popular families. Um, Winston is one of those interesting cities, and RJR Reynolds, and the whole because I think it was like until it was as late as like maybe 85 or 90. You could still walk through the mall in Winston-Salem and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because that's the home of Winston-Salem. The
Right.
the cigarettes, Moors, Virginia Slims. the tobacco. I'm not. I am not. I'm not all the way certain, but you remember. I remember, and I have to ask that you had the black area or real black area and
Mhm.
area like over by Winston-Salem State, and then you had like a line or a section back when it was still segregated, and then you
Yeah.
had that was where the kind of uh high yellow black folks lived, and
Yes.
then
Yes.
it was the white area. So it was those very distinct lines and areas of but the Browns, the
Browns.
McLeods, the McCrays, those are some of those like um, key families that that was instant the Russells that
The
had the Russell
Sturdivants. Have you ever heard of the Sturdivants or the Cuthbertsons?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's that. My little mama was a Cuthbertson, and Big Daddy was a
So now was she
Sturdivant.
in the Bridge Club and the Links and the Moles and all of that? That because there's a whole set of high society, black folks in Winston.
So Big Daddy was the worshipful master at the Prince Hall
Hall
Mason Lodge.
Lodge.
Yeah, and so he was a pretty well respected man, and there might be lineage between us, Sir
It
William.
may be, and because I know that there's some connection with us with Watts.
Yes, yes, I've heard that name too, Watts. I believe
Yeah,
those are cousins of mine.
yeah, but you remember she had the talk show, Rolanda.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
we were connected. In fact, my grandfather was the OBGYN that delivered her. So it was like
Oh,
an era of people that age that like almost 60% of that whole um, set of black folks, upper middle class black folks, was he popped them on the butt. He popped their babies on the butt.
that's a job. I'm so glad I do accounting because
I'm so glad that I can get paid to talk ish. I gossip and talk. I used to talk junk for free. Now I can say at least I can make a life out. Is that Layala J from LA? That's on. Is that her? I see a name that looks familiar. Well, man, this is crazy. I appreciate you.
thanks for having me on. I'm glad we got
No,
to
thank you
talk.
for coming. Thank you for coming and tuning in and all of that. Don't be no stranger, boy.
No, I'm gonna go back into the chat.
Yeah, we cousins.
Cousin Will, that's what you
That's
are,
my
Cousin
cousin
Will.
Presley, y'all. Peace.
Bye, William.
All right. Okay. All right, y'all. I think we're right here at the 90-minute hour. Anyone else? Kyle, James, anyone that has not yet given, that does not mind doing something? The ways to give is scrolling across the screen. Those of you, or you can do Cash App, you can do Zelle, you can Venmo, you can do PayPal, all of those. Great. We have such a fascinating, like when we really, Fatima, when we really think about it, like our whole history. Kayla Williams, thank you. Kayla Williams just did $10. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for your kindness and generosity. Our whole level, our whole story, our whole survival in this country is so it is so magnificent. I mean, when you really, 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 really think about it, like, I mean, I know y'all say, oh, we shouldn't talk color and oh, we shouldn't do this, but to really think that and y'all don't want to talk about this part about slavery because y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all always want to talk about the white man, but you don't want to talk about the Africans that were enslaving other African people that thought that they were better, that sold other black people to the white man. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that part of slavery, but to come over here and not know the language and to have survived the belly of those ships, boo-boo and pee-peeing, and women having menstrual cycles and being bound and chained and all of that, and survive that, and then for 400 years, and then to be able to survive the civil rights movement and Jim Crow and sharecropping and all of those things, and still amount to the level of success and ability in which that we have is absolutely magnificent. Like, it is just absolutely, when you think about it, incredible, you know. And I mean, it was refreshing to be able to have that conversation with somebody that had a grandmother that had that same kind of thought and that same, because y'all want to act like y'all don't be wanting to keep it real with me sometime when I say stuff like that, or when we discuss that, or when we talk about it. But it is a part of the reality and who we are, and to have amounted into it just to be able to survive, to have been able to have persevered and live through it is absolutely incredible. I need y'all's help. We let me see where we are. Okay. Uh, all right, we're just $55 from our goal. $55 from our goal. Anybody, anyone, it could be one person that could just wipe that out and do that 55. Anyone that can and will say, you know what, that's what that's one of the things that I pride myself on, and why I read to the degree. Hey, Joyce Darcy, the ladies' room has entered the building. Greetings. Thank you so much for being here. That's why I really enjoy reading and enjoy history the way that I do, because I like to be a Renaissance man, and to be able to enlighten and share and expound from politics all the way down. We got to talk about this redistricting. All right, thank you. Uh, is that Preston? Was that still Preston? Someone just did. Let's see. What was this? Who? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just did another 28. Okay. Let's see where we are. Okay. All right, I'm $26 from my goal. Thank you so much, Preston. Who else? Who else? I want somebody that is never, any first timers here, anyone that says, you know what, this is Africa. We are telling our own story. We're telling our own story. Instagram, the levels to give is on is over there on Instagram. Also, if you have done either PayPal or if you have done Vimo or one of our other giving mechanisms, please let me know so that I can acknowledge you as well. All right. Anyone else? That last 26 bucks. But that's one of the things that I really like and pride myself is doing, is to know a little bit about a lot of very different subjects, and to be able to give you more than just entertainment, hot gossip and news. Give you more than just, you know, the tea that is in the street. All right, Joyce Dorsey is absolutely incredible. We are just $6. Who's going to do that last $6 so we can reach our goal? I want to thank everyone that tuned in on tonight. I want y'all to make sure that you like and share, like and share. Tell Lottie, Dottie, and everybody about Sir William, how much you like and enjoy the lives and hanging out with me, following me. This week was it's I don't know. Today is Wednesday. Maybe it just feels a little different. Maybe we'll start this discussion tomorrow. I really want us to talk about these midterm elections and how important these midterm elections are. And those of you that are in Texas, I really want to I'm going to that I really want to know what is going to be our strategy, because we have a woman, Jasmine Crockett, that has definitely been targeted. Lines came in and they were able to legally redistrict the state of Texas, pick up 5 seats, and knock her out. And are we awake? Like, are we? You know, are we sitting? What's going on with us? Are we just sitting idly by? Are we just sitting? Are we just sitting idly by and watching and watching this play out, watching this go down? So we got to talk about this, and we got to talk about. I'm going to begin to probably also people that are running for office, and probably having some folks on. We got to work and get our numbers up, and grow our channel, and grow our voice, and grow this community, that this obnoxious street committee, and be able to have these harsh realities and these very, very, very serious discussions. Yeah, we're all for the fun ones. We're all for them. But we gotta have the ones that is like, okay, what's going on here? And how are we going to come together? How are we going to strategize? How are we going to put things together to say, hey, wait a minute. This is not going to go down like this on my watch. All right. I'm just in closing, $6. Who will do that final $6? And we're going to go to bed. All right. Thank y'all. Who all is watching on Instagram? everyone that is over there on Instagram. Do we have anybody that will do that final $6? Anyone? Before I leave, I always like to leave and reach my goal. We have Cash App, we have Venmo, we have PayPal, and we have Zelle. Let me check and see. Fatima, did anyone do a Zelle by chance? I know sometimes I don't see them until after after I have signed off, or the next day, or sometimes something like that, to actually see who has done a okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay, who is this? Okay, anyone that is going to, I just checked my email. I don't see, okay, you didn't see a notification. All right, I'm not seeing one either. Okay. All right, that final six. Anyone over here on that final six? And we can call it a night. Got about maybe 6 or 7 minutes left. Wanted to maybe try to do a 90-minute show, but it looked like we ran over that. Anyone? Uh, anyone that is there? Let's see. Anyone on Instagram? All that we have left over there. All right. Okay. Well, I guess we I guess we can call it a night with and with being short on the just $6. But I'd like to. I am a gold oriented person. Am I right? And I don't. I know when God tells me and shows me something, I know that is in here, because I know y'all are in here. We still have 118 people that's in here. So we could even get 6 people at a dollar, but we can all do something. Am I talking right? Now see, if I was in uh if I was in the prophetic, y'all would be giving. All right. Ramon, you're acting up. Ramon, is Ramon still here? All right. I'm waiting on y'all. Who's gonna do that final six so we can get on out of here? Thank you. Did we get it? Yeah, and then too, Another thing I want to talk about this, right? This not racism so much, but this whole political thing. But then I also want to talk about I've been getting word of a good number of people that are catching cases. It is that popular? Like, and I'm not saying stuff just like in the news, but I'm just saying like, are y'all hearing about people that you know and that you know of that are kind of like getting in trouble, like how the church boy out of the Josh guy out of Ricky Dillard's choir, his getting in trouble. Like I'm really getting a lot of calls in regard to folks that are getting in trouble. All right, AJ Williams just came in the room over on Instagram. Uh, Greetings to you. I think, do I know? Is that AJ? All right, I think that might be AJ. Greetings to you, my brother. Greetings. Thank you. All right, I'm six away from my goal. Now y'all gonna let me leave here, and the most times y'all won't even let me leave out with being short $50. I know y'all ain't gonna let me leave out and close out the show short $60. Come on, y'all gonna get me in my feelings, and then I may not even come on tomorrow. All right, let's see here. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now who is okay, well we'll talk. Okay. All right. So we're just getting something. Didn't get a chance to uh oh my gosh. Oh my, I have some crazy friends. Well, I don't know why my friends like that they'll quote me to me. It's so funny. They'll quote me to me. All right. And um yeah, Joyce Darcy, what can I say? She's absolutely incredible. All right, she wasn't gonna let me come up $6 short. I love a lady that leads from the front. Come on. All right, y'all. We're gonna make sure we do better. We're gonna make sure that we do better. I need everyone to like, share, follow me on all of my social media platforms, subscribe to this channel. You know what? How just before we go, Fatima, how did we do on likes? How did we do on likes for tonight? Do we have a good number of likes? Did we get some good did we get a good number of likes? Yeah, but I've been getting wind of, some guys that are catching cases. And I'm just trying to figure out, Lord, what is going on? I know that we're living in the last days and it's going to be a lot of things, but peerless times is going to come. But it is okay. We only got 59 likes. All right. Okay. Okay. Kind of a light night. Kind of a light night. Um, We have 121 in the chat and 59 likes. Y'all, That is not even half. That is not even half. So, but I'm not gonna go off. Well, okay. It's right at half. It's right at half. So, all right. All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all. Anyone that is interested in working with me and Obnoxious Media, you all can inbox and let me know. You can definitely inbox me and let me know. Also, you all, if you have a story tip or some information that you want to share, then you can definitely also uh 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 okay. You can also let me know that as well. Okay. All right, y'all. I think so. We up to 60 likes, so that's right at about half, and that's a good margin. I think if all hearts and minds are clear, I think everybody can rest on their feet. I think that everyone can rest uh, on their feet. Been seeing a lot of stuff too about I don't know, some interesting, it's some just really interesting things that are transpiring. So we'll get into some of those topics on tomorrow. Okay. All right. I appreciate everyone. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. And we'll see y'all on tomorrow. Make sure that you click the like button, the subscribe button, and all of those. And thank you for the 64 likes that we did get on tonight. Okay. All right. I'm out of here. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate you.